I'm going to have to mute the YouTube when it pops up. It's going to be loud.
Good evening, good evening. We are live, and this is the Coffee Pod episode. I believe it's episode 4. It might be 5, but we'll call it episode 4. And on today's episode, we have Jay Flipping Sloth, who I'm sure lots of you will probably know. So, Jay, for the people who do not know you, tell us a bit about you.
There we go. About me? Oh, okay. It's like a dating resume going on here.
Yeah, this is the first question of your interview tonight.
Oh, this is like interviewing for Big Brother. Okay.
Yeah.
29, full-time reseller. Don't drive. Pull a trolley along because I'm a loser. Hey, you have a trolley as well. You're a loser too.
I'm a trolley loser. We have trolley races at the Sunday car boot.
Yeah, we do. Not uploaded a video in like a month because I'm lazy. Yeah, that's about it. What else do you want to know?
So I want to know, first of all, and we'll talk a lot about eBay and YouTube and also about the auction thing we've been talking about, but why have you not uploaded a video in the past month? Because your content's really good.
Because I can't be bothered to edit. Because
Okay.
I hate editing.
That's very honest.
I need to get an editor, but they're expensive. And also, to be fair, my GoPro has been playing up. It keeps corrupting, and I'm fed up with it. I need to pull the plug and buy the one that you have, the 10. I've been looking at it for a long time, but how much was your one? Like $350 or something?
Yeah, it was $350, but that comes with a year subscription. So basically, it was $350 if you take their year subscription, or it was like $500 if you don't. So it's worth taking the year subscription and then just cancelling it if you don't want it. I
wouldn't even use their thing anyway, but I'd get it just to get it for cheaper. I think I got my mine was the 8 and I got it on Amazon like just as the 9 came out, so it was like the same price then as it is now. So I got it on a really good deal like 2 years ago. So I think it was like $260. It's lasted me well. It's just I don't know whether it's the actual GoPro or the memory cards. They keep corrupting. That's really annoying. Like I'll be like, I've just like done a really good deal at the car boot or something, and then I'll look down and the light's not flickering. I'm just like, oh, not again.
Yeah. I think I need to upgrade the memory card on mine because the one they give you doesn't hold a lot. I think it's just over an hour if I do 1080p. So I probably need to look at upgrading the memory card. Otherwise, I've got to make sure after the Saturday car boot, I have to upload all the footage. And sometimes on a Saturday afternoon, like you're saying, you just get lazy and you don't want to think about YouTube on a Saturday afternoon sometimes. So let's just jump in the chat quickly. We've got a few people in. So we have Chop Chop, Busy Busy, Work Work, Bang Bang. The second best name on YouTube. I think the Bumcrack Picker is my favourite. So welcome. GT Pre-Loved. Neil and Jan. Now, I was on Neil and Jan's channel this morning on a live. We've done a bit of a show and tell from the car boot sale. And I showed them, Jay, what I was telling you about the PlayStation 4 and Wii bundle I picked up. And I'll be doing a video on that.
Was that from the same car boot that I was at? Or
it was, yeah. Sorry, mate. It was, yeah. But I'll be doing a video hopefully this week on that as well, just to show you what I got in that bundle. So I don't want to give many spoilers away. We got Rich in Night's Life. Hi, Rich.
Welcome.
And SB Reselling is in, and that was my second guest on the Coffee Pod. So the first one was my cousin, and then we had Sophie on the Coffee Pod. So welcome into the chat tonight. So Jay, first of all, as I say, thanks for coming on. I know you through the auction house mainly. I remember coming up to you in the auction house and saying, "Are you Flipping Sloth? I've seen your videos." And this is well before I even thought about doing a YouTube.
It's been nearly 2 years now, year and a half, something like that.
Oh, my dad's in. Paul Bolden says hi, Sloth. I think he watches your videos as well.
Really?
But you're not his favourite, and neither have I. His favourite is the Brum Reseller. And I can't knock him for that because John the Brum Reseller is really good. But yeah, interestingly enough, as I said, I saw you at the auction house, and then I started seeing you at the boot sales. So I see you most weekends when either I turn up or you turn up at the boot sale as well.
You weren't really doing the car boot at that point, was you, as much? Or was
No, I was mainly doing auctions and the local car boot on a Saturday, but I wasn't really out doing it full time. That was when it was more like a hobby to me in a way. But what is it you love about reselling then? Because there's so many other jobs, and sometimes I'll sit here and think, do you know what? As a reseller, people think all you do is buy and sell stuff, but there's so much more to it. But what do you enjoy about being a reseller?
I just like the freedom. Like it's you just can get up in the morning whenever you want. Like you got to do your work, obviously. Like it doesn't just happen on its own. But if you put everything in place properly, then you can do whatever you want. Like I'll get up in the morning, I spend like 4 hours. I walk to the gym, I do the sauna, I go around town, I come home. That's like a 4 hour thing every single day. Like time out of my work day, but do a little bit of sourcing if I find anything while I'm out. And I get to do that every day. If I had a normal 9 till 5, there's no way I would be able to do that. I'd probably be too tired at the end of the day to go to the gym, to even be bothered to go to the gym. To get out and do that would probably not happen. Yeah, and then just the freedom to go where I want. Like I'm always going off doing theme parks when they're open. I actually asked you the other day.
Oh yeah, theme parks is not one of my strong points, but Fort Park's a local one, isn't it?
Yeah. Fort Park, Alton Towers, all that kind of stuff. Going back to Alton Towers next week, actually, doing Drayton Manor as well. My mate wants to do that, so
nice.
That'll be fun. Yeah, just that freedom. Like I could roll out of bed tomorrow and go, I want to go to America for a week. You know what? I'm going to book a ticket.
Yeah.
And I could put my store on holiday mode for probably 3 days and get away with doing a week. I could go on like midweek, or I don't know. You can work it out where you can go for a week, but only have it on holiday mode for 3 days, and then when you come back, you can do all your parcels and that. Yeah, you can't just do that with a job. You have to be there for like a year before they'll give you like decent holiday or whatever. Or I don't know how long it is, but yeah, and you get to buy some stuff, which is nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah,
I have literally zero desire to buy for myself anymore.
Yeah, that does change, and I know what you mean about the freedom as well. I mean, even last week it was my wedding anniversary, and to be able to just say, yeah, we can go out for some lunch on Wednesday afternoon and just make that decision on your own without having to ask a boss to get it signed off weeks in advance. But yeah, what you're saying there about desire to buy for yourself, isn't it funny when you're a reseller, you kind of are always thinking about, can I sell this instead of keeping it? And also you don't want to pay full price for anything.
Yeah,
I found I've become a lot more like that, where I'm always looking for discount codes.
I'm so stingy.
Yeah, no,
I think you have to be a little bit crazy and a little bit stingy to do. I think everyone, when they start, they hate a few things. They hate the fees, especially back in the day before eBay's managed payments come along. You'd have to pay your fees monthly in like a massive chunk. And at that point, I was getting through, I think it was like £400 a month or something when it first came in. And obviously now it's more like 900 to 1,000. Like I would struggle today hitting that button to send £1,000 to eBay.
Yeah.
Because it's in my account. Like I really struggled with that. And the other one was when I used to do Royal Mail. I'd go to Royal Mail or post office and do and I'd see like £60, £70 for postage. I used to hate that, like that money going out, like would really annoy me. And then obviously you learn like, oh, but that's just an expense. They're paying you for postage if you do that, and that's the fees. Like you're getting your money, blah blah blah. But yeah, I struggled with that for a long time. And then obviously managed payment came along. It was like a lifesaver because you don't have to pay that bill anymore. Like in one go, it just disappears without you ever seeing it, kind of thing. But yeah,
I started selling. I think when the managed payment thing was just kicking in. A few months with PayPal, and you're right. When the invoice would come in, it was £200-300. You think, that's a big hit. And I remember there was so much worry about managed payment, including myself, to be like, it's not going to work and stuff. But looking back now, I actually think it's something that eBay's actually done perfect.
It's the best thing. Like I made a video because what happened to me was I got terminated from PayPal like 2 months before they were putting everyone on managed payments. So I was like, I was in a real big panic because they just because I had an account when I was like 16. I shouldn't have had it or something on PayPal.
Yeah, we all done that.
And they like dug it up and they were like, oh yeah, you're banned. You're permanently banned. You can never have an account again. And I was like, oh, well, thanks. You've ruined my entire like work now.
Of course.
So I rung eBay and I was like, look, this has happened. Like, you can see all of my stats and stuff. Can you fast track me? And they were like, absolutely not. You're just a regular person. We don't care about you. Get in the line.
You're not important for them, yeah.
I was like, okay. So I borrowed a family member's PayPal. It happened. What are you going to do, PayPal?
It don't matter now, yeah.
I borrowed it for like 2 months, and then I got enrolled into managed payments. And I think I was like one of the first people, because how it worked was there was a list, and they were like emailing people like, do you want to sign up for it? And I signed up straight away. And then they were like slowly rolling people onto it. So I got onto it, and I was like, one, this is like a savior. 2, I don't have to press the button to give eBay my money anymore. And 3, it's just a really good system. Like, everything seems to be working fine. They're paying me great, like all this stuff. And I don't have to deal with PayPal. I always hated PayPal. I never liked PayPal. The way that they would just lock your account and hold your money for like 6 months, like hostage. It just didn't sit right with me. Like, if you're going to lock my account, if I've not done something illegal, release my money. You know what I mean? Like, don't hold on to it. So I actually made a video like talking about managed payments. I was like, look, there's nothing to worry about. This is how it works. You're going to really like it. And I had issues signing up for it as well, because I'd moved and my ID didn't match my address. So I had to like get a new passport and all of that stuff, and it just was hectic. It cost me like £200 to get on managed payments, because I had to get passport, I had to pay for birth certificate to prove that I could get a new passport, because it was the first time I'd had an adult passport. I still had like my child's passport from when I was like 12. But yeah, I got on, I made the video, and everyone's still like, I didn't understand it. Everyone was like, no, I'm scared, I don't want to do it. And I was like, look, trust me, like in 6 months' time, come back to me and tell me I'm wrong. And I don't think anyone has said still like they prefer PayPal. I couldn't name you one person. Actually, I know one person that had a lot of problems with managed payments, but it was actually their fault in the end. It turned out it was their fault. They'd switched to VAT registered, but they were still using a private bank account. And to be VAT registered on eBay, you have to have a business account. Sure. So they were sending the money to the account, but it was like bouncing because they weren't able to send it to a private bank or something. And they thought eBay was like scamming them like out of their money, but actually it was just they had to update their account.
The managed payments reminds me of the new listing tool, which I'm at the stage at the moment where I'm not switching over to this new listing tool until they force me to do so.
No,
but I think it's going to be the same. Sorry,
I will never use that new listing tool. It's terrible.
Yeah, because I've been stopping myself, because every time you sort of switch it to have a look, I'm scared in case they stop me switching back. So I don't switch at all now. But I think it's going to be one of them things where they'll just improve, and in the end, you'll look at it and you'll think, oh, it's going to be a lot easier. But I agree, at the moment, it's not great.
It's not good at all. It's like, it takes me like 3 times as long, because I tried it, because you have to switch to put a video on. They won't let you use the video thing on the old advanced, because I don't know which one you use. I use the really advanced one where like everything's on there.
Yeah,
and it's like pretty much like a page from like, I don't know, 2005 eBay or something, like 2008 eBay or something. Like, it's that old. Like, it's really old. It's like it's so simple. It's like, do this, fill this in, do this, fill this in, go through it really quick. Everything's there. But the new one's like, it's all like in bubbles, and it's like,
you have to scroll. I think you have to scroll a lot more on the new one.
It's not like dun dun dun. It's like boom 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 boom. It's like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's like they designed it for like a iPad.
Yeah.
And they've just gone, yeah, PC can have that version too. But yeah, hopefully they don't force me to do that, because that will really slow me down. because I don't know about you, I only list on PC because I hate listing on the app because the app's also terrible.
I used to only list on the app, and then I realised the app is good for eBay buyers, not so much for sellers.
The app is really good for managing your account, but for listing, it's terrible.
Yeah. We'll just say a few more hellos. So we've got Rachel, who's come in. We have Gary, who's popped in as well. We have Richard Payne, who's popped in. So thanks for all coming in. And Richard's actually talking about the listing tool. Unfortunately, the listing tool is going to be forced on us all. I was switched over automatically last week with no option to go back. So it looks like in the next month or so, we've got no choice.
I had that because I have a second eBay account, which I don't actually use anymore. But when I started that, like, I don't know, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the current advanced listing tool was also expired. Like, you couldn't use it anymore. Like the one I use now, you couldn't use them. And I had it on my main one, so I knew it still existed. So I just phoned up and was like, why, like, can I have this? And they were like, yeah, we'll just turn it on for you. So I would suggest giving them a call because it is still there. They've probably just removed your way of getting it, like they did back then. But I don't know why they like opened it back up again in the end. Maybe they realized that it was better.
Well, I know when they first brought it on, they had lots of issues with it. And so I think what they've done, they kind of brought it like eBay do. They test it with a certain amount of people, probably realized it was actually causing people more stress than it's worth, and then brought back the other one. But yeah, I speak to quite a lot of the American resellers and also the Australian ones as well. And they're saying that they are slowly being forced to switch to it. They're kind of waking up in the morning and expecting to just be on the new listing tool. And as a full-time reseller, that's not good because it might take you a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks to get your head around it. So all that's going to do is slow down your progress.
All they have to do is, because look, eBay is like a bowl of noodles when it comes to their code and like what pages are active. Like there's pages like on the accounts tab that are like 10 iterations old. They're just like mixed in with like the new stuff. So all they have to do is just onboard new people. If new people sign up, onboard them straight away to the new one. Leave everyone else with the old one and just give them the option. And then
I think that's what they've done with managed payments with the onboarding. I think for the new people who were kind of chucked on managed payments straight away, no option. And it was for the people who had accounts before managed payments, they kind of just sort of trialed it with the new people. And I think that's the way they've been trying to do it with this new listing tool. But if it's an automatic thing, I guess it's one of the things where, like managed payments, you'll just have to learn to use it. And in time, it might work a lot better. So we have Jonathan Bolden in. You know Jonathan as well from the auction houses and the boot sale, Slothy. So he's driving back from work. Great listen. So yeah, he's always a good chat, John. So let's talk a little bit then about the YouTube side then. So what got you into doing YouTube videos? Because I honestly never felt I would become anyone who put out YouTube content at all. And I only started 4 weeks ago myself, and I've actually really enjoyed the YouTube side to reselling as well. So what was it that got you into that side?
I'd been doing YouTube for a long time before, but it was never work related, never reselling related or anything. It was more like the gaming stuff. But I'd like dabbled. I did live streaming for like 5 years full time. That's what I did. That failed. That bankrupted me, which actually got me into reselling pretty much because I spent all my money trying to do that, and that failed. And I realized I didn't really like playing games all day anyway. Like, actually not fun playing games every day. Like,
it sounds fun, doesn't it? But yeah, I can imagine.
In reality, it's not great. Turned out. But yeah, I had the knowledge or I had the experience to do YouTube anyway, so I kind of had a head up on anyone that had never done it before, I presume. And it was still quite new, I think. Like, I think I was on like the last wave of like really good time to get into it, unless you have like or someone's always going to come along with like something completely different in the scene and they're going to blow up. Like, that's always going to happen. But like the regular people like me and like anyone else that starts now, they're going to have a harder time than when I started, because back then there was only Nick and Andrea and George Ross was around. I don't think Brom was around then. He may have like just started after me. I'm not sure exactly when.
I think Brum's fairly recent actually. because I remember, I mean, when I thought about reselling, obviously Nick Hills, George Ross, Peter Cummins, them kind of people, I would learn off them and to see whether actually I'd watch it. And I remember watching one of Nick's first videos and thinking, this reselling lark's easy. It's not hard at all. But yeah, I think Brum's fairly new-ish on the scene. But his videos are so
Brum
good.
was one of those people that I was talking about. He had something completely different, and his channel was obviously surpassed a lot of people that aren't doing that next level like entertainment thing. Like mine was never about that. For me, it was just like because I mainly watched. I'd seen Nick and I'd seen George, but I wasn't really like into their stuff that much. I was more into the American stuff because I'm heavily into like American culture and stuff. So I really enjoyed theirs, and I was just like, if I'm gonna do it, like now is probably the best time to do it. And it just happened to be like a month before COVID started the first time. So I did like a month or two. I did like a few videos. The first one actually did really well. It's like a car boot. I think that's like one of my best videos still. Terrible editing. I did a terrible voiceover. The video's terrible. I don't know why people like it, but that video alone's gained me like 800 subs.
Amazing.
And that was my first ever reselling video. And then obviously lockdown happened, and I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna have to stop doing this for a while. It didn't bother me because it was like a new thing still. And then obviously I hit that wave of like, oh, car boots are back after 6 months or however long it was we was in lockdown for. So I got that like that wave, you know. I rode that wave. Yeah, like a lot of people that start now aren't ever going to have that wave because that wave's hopefully never going to happen again. So I was just there, right time to like grow my channel. But yeah, obviously lots of people have come after, and they will, like yourself, grow and all that stuff. But for me, it was more just like I want to be able to like go back and see what I was doing, because I think people forget how bad they actually were. Like how much you've improved, should I say. I think you forget, like I'll be walking around the car boot now and I'll see like thousands of things that 6 months ago I would have bought and I would have been happy buying, and I would have put it in the video and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And now I just look at it and I'm like, that's a waste of time. So yeah, it's more of just like archiving kind of thing for me. I was never about information. I never wanted to be like someone that tried to educate people. I guess if it was entertaining, then that was great. But I was never about education. I know some people start and they just want to educate, and in reality, like, who is worthy of being an educator in the space? Like, you know, like people know their stuff, but like, do they actually? Because you'll go 6 months and you'll say something different. I think the only thing you can really educate on is how to operate eBay in a way of like way to not get banned, the way to like list, all that kind of stuff you can educate on. But the actual act of reselling, I think like you, me, everyone, it changes all the time. New stuff is learned, new things happen. So to like be an educator is near on impossible, because I could say something now. I could be like, oh, like this is worth like £50 and you're going to make £40 profit. And then everyone's like, yay. And then someone comes along 2 months later and they don't do their own research and they go out and they find 5 of them because no one's buying them anymore because they're not worth that anymore. And then they've lost money. Like, I don't want to be that person to like, you know, to do that. So I try not to. Like, I will show sale prices, but
I think you're right, Jay, because it does change every hour, you know, really. Yeah. I mean, look at the Wii's. Look at the Wii's. During lockdown, the Wii's were going for 100. You can easily do a Wii, a couple of controllers and a couple of games. You'll get £100 within an hour. And now you're struggling with a Nintendo Wii, the normal one, to get 30 quid for a box one. So it just goes to show how it fluctuates.
And I would have shown back in the day, me buying a Wii during COVID and me selling a Wii during COVID and showing how much it sold for.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have said, go out and buy Wiis.
Yeah.
because if I'd done that and someone had found that video now, let's say, for example, YouTube's like, oh, this video's getting some views, let's promote it. All of a sudden, 10,000 people suddenly see that video.
Yeah.
How many of those people are going to go out and buy a Wii and then try and sell it and then realize that the Wii's are like not worth buying and sell it anymore? You know what I mean? Like, obviously,
it's all relevant, isn't it?
I can't control who does their own research and who doesn't, but
you'll get people who don't do the research and then they'll come and blame you to say, oh, you said it's worth this much and it's not. So I completely get what you mean. And it does change all the time, and research is important. Just jump back to Richard's comment here, Jay. He was saying about we're talking about the new listing tool. I know some sellers still on the original, might try calling them. Yeah, I think it's a great shout from Jay to give eBay a call, because if it's still live for the likes of me and Jay, for instance,
still there, so
they should be able to just move you back. Let me just jump through the chat. I'll try and keep up best I can. So we've got Sam in. Hi, Sam. Rachel's talking about some American resellers. You mentioned a few. I started with the Americans as well. So Cincinnati Picker, Shed Flips, to name a few. Really enjoyed their content. And I think it is great seeing how they do it.
Garage
Flips. There.
Yeah, I used to watch, I've forgotten his name now. It was like 3 letters. I can't remember. It was like, I can't remember. But he was like friends of like Garage Flips as well. But the amount of times I didn't do research when I first started, I would see something in the like American video and I'd see it out and about and I'd buy it. And then I'd realize that, oh, America and the UK are two completely different selling markets. Like, don't do that.
Of course. So we've got Robert in, and thanks, Robert. He's subbed to me, which is great. I guess he's already subbed to you because he's found us somehow. So thank you for joining us. So what advice then would you give me, Jay, then, as a new YouTuber who resells? What advice would you give me for my channel then? Because as I said to you before we went on the chat, I've only been doing it 4 weeks now, and I sometimes feel like I'm putting this stuff out and I'm like, am I doing it right, kind of thing. So what advice would you give me as a beginner?
Well, you're going to learn on the job, that's for sure. Same as you did with reselling. So I wouldn't worry about what you're putting out, because you'll soon realize this didn't work, that worked, let me do this, not that. And you're doing pretty well already. Like, look at your lighting setup compared to mine.
The lighting setup is only because the missus said to me, oh, I've got a ring light I use for my makeup and stuff. Do you want to borrow it? And that was about 5 weeks ago.
I need one of them.
It back yet.
The lighting in here is terrible, but yeah. Advice for YouTube. I think with something like YouTube, if you don't want to burn out like me, you just have to upload the videos you want to make, not the ones that you think are always going to do better. If you enjoy doing it, you're going to be able to do it longer and more consistently. The thing is with me, I love filming. I love going out, doing the job. I love making the videos. I just hate putting them together. I even like doing the thumbnails. I like doing the titles. I like doing the description. I like chatting to people when the video goes live. The bit I hate and I can't stand, unfortunately, is the editing.
Which is the key part to getting it up there, and it's the final kind of block, isn't it? Because I've listened to lots of things online, and you can read and listen to so much information, and sometimes it contradicts itself, a bit like reselling in a way, where people have said the best thing to do is to think about your title and your thumbnail before you film the actual video. But then that's sometimes quite hard.
You can't do that with reselling because you don't know what you're going to find, and the title normally revolves around something that's happened in the video.
Exactly.
It's impossible.
What's stopping you from getting an editor? And actually, Sam's just asked this. I think I've heard of Fiverr before. Is that like a program where you can kind of pay someone to do your editing?
Yeah, Fiverr is like a creative forum. You can go on there. People post what work they do, and you can pay them. I think like the cheapest price is £5, which hence the name. But editors are expensive. Even ones on Fiverr, like they're expensive. And I wouldn't want like anybody just editing my videos. I'd want someone that could edit the same as how I edit or better. And that's probably going to be like £60 to £80 a video. And my videos don't make £60 to £80.
Not yet.
Maybe they would if I had an editor and they uploaded way more and I could just film. But like, it's a big investment, you know, because I would probably be losing like £50, £60 per video if I was doing that, because they are, in reality, like, unless it's Christmas time, my videos that get like 5,000 views, they only make like 20 quid if I'm lucky.
Neil Jan, who I was on live with this morning, said the same, and I've had a lot of chats with Neil about the editing side as well. He's got a backlog of like 11 videos that still need uploading. So he films every weekend at the car boot sale, and normally they're like an hour video or so, and that must take a lot of time to edit, to upload, to think of a thumbnail. So it all adds up, and I've realized in my short space of time that YouTube could turn into another full-time job alongside your eBay. And I've only put out, I think I'm on about 10 videos or 11 videos at the moment. But even so, sometimes I'm sitting there feeling like, right, I've got this content, I need you to put it all together. But you've got to then make time to do that. And that takes time away from reselling sometimes, or it eats into your home life. Of an evening, I'll sometimes say to Leanne, I've got to just edit this YouTube video for the next half an hour or so. And it just keeps adding on kind of to your day, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it all adds up. To be honest, if I got a video to edit during the day, I'll probably spend more time editing that than I would actually do in eBay. Because I would say maximum the amount of hours, like if I did a full eBay day, let's just say, for example, I went to the car boot, I did the car boot, I came home, I did photos, I listed, and then I packed orders as well. That would probably only be like 6 hours, because I would do maybe 2 to 3 at the car boot max, depending on how many I did.
Yeah.
Photos would probably only be 30 minutes. 40 minutes maximum, and then listing them would probably be like an hour, maybe, depending on how many, maybe an hour and a half, and then the rest for packing. Packing really doesn't take me too long, because the max I'd ever have to pack at a time is like 35, like probably max 2 hours. So I don't know what that adds up to, maybe 5-6 hours, something like that.
Is that normally sort of on a Monday you have to kind of do the 35 when the weekend orders come in?
Exactly. Yeah, or Tuesday sometimes, because if you do Friday, I have 3-day packing.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's Tuesday. If I'm lazy, I won't do them on Monday, and then I'll have to do them on Tuesday. So yeah, you get 3 whole days of sales, or 2 whole days, whatever it works out at.
Sure.
I don't really do that anymore. I normally like just pack every like 2 days and just do them quicker.
So Richard's saying Fiverr made his logo. So yeah, again, for little tasks like that where you feel, do you know what, I'm not, because I must admit, that's one thing I'm trying to get better at, is my editing and my Canva skills, where I'm still sort of getting my head around what works, what doesn't work as well. But I guess for something like a logo, like my logo is very simple. I've done that myself on Canva. It's just a pair of glasses and my name. But for like Richard's one, I can understand why Fiverr would be great for a one-off task, to actually just get them to do it. It takes the pressure off you. They can do a better job than you could probably do yourself. Yeah. And then it's done and you can move on, especially with a logo. So yeah, no, great shout with that, Rich. I think if my logo was more complex, I probably would have got someone to design it as well. But I kept mine simple because that's the way I think. And, I hadn't got time to try and be all creative with that. So, Jay, let's talk about what we had a little chat about. And I don't know the ins and outs on this completely because it was your idea. But you would like me and you to do a bit of a collaboration, really, with this auction challenge. So talk to me about your plans. And I've got a couple of ideas as well to chuck in, potentially, and we can maybe work something out to get this moving.
Well, I mean, we met at the auctions, right? So why not do first video, like proper videos from the auction? Obviously, there's limitations with our auction. They're not really, without annoying anyone if they're watching the videos, they're not really the kind of people that would let us film in there. I've always had that vibe, don't take your camera into the auction. There's no signs up, there's no laws, there's no actual restrictions, but I've just never had that vibe, like it would be a thing to do, like to go in there with the camera. So we wouldn't be able to film from the auction, but we could film before the auction. We could do the intro before the auction. £50 each, I think, is fair. I don't know how much you normally spend at the auction. I used to take I used to take £100, but I never really, because I was more picky than you. I think you were just like
anything and everything at one point.
Yeah, but I suppose you could take as much as you want, and then you could just pick £50 out of it.
Yeah, I think £50 is a good number. I think at that auction, like we know, you can get some you can get some good stuff for £50, depending on when you go. Sometimes it goes higher, but most of the time we do get some good stuff.
You know, I think £50 without the fees, because the fees are 10%. So that would take £10 out of it, or £5 out of it, or whatever. So if we just do it like before fees, so £50 before fees, and then after, like the next day or whatever, we can't really film after because it'll be dark. But
yeah,
the next day or whenever we're next like available, we can just meet up and film, show like, or we can separately. I don't really know how it would work. We'd have to work it out, but show what we've got. And I don't know whether you wanted to wait until a lot of it is sold, or just upload the video and then do like a recap in the next one, what's sold, what hasn't. Or we could just do it on like eBay sales, like the previous sales, like this one's selling for like blah blah, so I've technically made £10 here or something. We'll have to work out how to do it, but I think like it'll be quite interesting.
I think it's a great idea. And before I give you sort of my spin on it and what I'm thinking as well, I thought it was this Rachel who goes to the auction. She said she won't run us up, and so she probably will now. So we need to make sure that when we go, she's not there, because she always wins the good stuff.
She's the trolley.
So yeah, absolutely. But what I was thinking, and my spin on it, I love the idea, but whether we kind of gave ourselves a sort of strict deadline, in the sense of like, we don't want to be sitting on this stock. So maybe we said to ourselves, what we're going to do, we're going to go to the auction, we're going to spend £50. Then we're going to do a video of what we picked up, basically. You know, and the next day we could both do a quick film of this is what we got at the auction, upload it to our channels.
I got a better idea.
And then maybe we have a month. We have a month to sell it, and anything you do not sell, you get a penalty on.
I've just had a great idea.
Go on in.
We sell it at a car boot.
Oh no,
next to each other.
That's tougher. Selling at a car boot compared to eBay.
Yeah, but we just have to buy stuff that will sell at a car boot instead.
Well, we could probably integrate, and we'll probably have another chat after this live anyway and get it all sort of squared away. But we can maybe integrate both. We could maybe say we have a month to sell it on eBay, but the last weekend before the month's out, whatever we've got left, we have to go to a car boot sale and sell next to each other.
Maybe we need
to see who can make the full amount. Were you thinking more money?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. We'll have to have a proper chat, but I like the idea. I think it'll be good for us both to have that little bit of competition between each other. Friendly competition, of course, unless you beat me, then it's not friendly.
Hey,
but
at the end of the day, it'll be like bidding wars, but actually interesting.
Oh, sorry for anyone who appeared on Bidding Wars. That's not my views, that's Jay's. But
I was
anyway,
supposed to be on that show.
Was you actually?
Yeah, I pulled out like 2 days before filming started.
Well, I've been approached, and I was keeping this quite quiet, and I feel a bit disappointed because they messaged me on Instagram. I don't know which company it is, who basically said, we're going to be running a new TV program about reselling, blah blah blah. Would you be interested? And this was, I think, a couple of days before I started YouTube. So I just replied back saying, yeah, keen to find out more. You know, I'm up for going on there. Why not? They never messaged me back. So I don't know whether they haven't got the ball rolling yet, or they looked at my Instagram at the time and thought, actually, he's no good. So, yeah, a bit gutted. So again, if you're watching, you know, hit me up. Because I'll be keen.
How much I'm allowed to say legally about what happened with that show, but yeah, some stuff went down, and I was just like, you know what, it's not worth it.
Yeah, don't do it on the live in case you get in trouble.
I pulled out in the last second, and
was your fees and expenses too much for them, Jay? Was you asking for too much money? And
I think that's probably what it was. You know, I wanted the red carpet. I wanted a stretch limo to get me there. You know. I wanted takeaway every day, like decent, like, you know.
Sounds fair.
Sushi on set. And they weren't having it. They were like, no. And I said, I'll go to BBC instead.
Yeah, that's it. Go on the big time channel. So Chop thinks the car boot video sounds good. So we might have to do that then. Selling a car boot is tough. I always find selling a car boot really tough. Do you know why? Because I'd rather be buying. I think that's what it always is with me. But if that works and we think we can do it that way, maybe we do spend a little bit more at the auction and we get some stuff we can list on eBay and the car boot and try and do a whole thing and just see what happens, really. I pick up a lot of rubbish at the auction, I must admit. You know what it's like.
Well, you're
Sometimes I buy
perfect
them.
for car boot then, aren't you?
Yeah, sometimes I buy them box of bits and it costs me like £3 or £4, and I bring it home and I'm like, what have I done? Because
But
actually you end up down the tip too much.
That box of bits might have one eBay item in and 15 items for the car boot.
Okay. I'm happy with that plan. I think that's the way to go then, if we can do a bit of both and just see how we get on. But I think it's really good to actually have that collaboration with someone where we can go to the same auction and see, in a way, see who's got that eye for better stuff. Because there's going to be some stuff that I look at and you'll think, oh, that will never sell. And there's going to be stuff that you pick up. And even at the car boot this weekend, I saw that big skateboard in your trolley. And straight away you were like, yeah, got this. It's really good. And I'm thinking I would have just walked past that. I would never have thought to myself, do you know what? I'm going to pick it up. So it just goes to show that we just look for different things now and again, which is good.
Yeah,
and that's
I wouldn't have bought half that stuff. You looked in my, I don't know, did you film in my trolley? I think you did.
I probably did. I've got the footage to sort out this week. I'm probably just going to try and get a video up Wednesday of my car boot walk around. And you do feature, so
I'll have to send you the contract to sign for a release.
Yeah. As long as you're not charging like you was trying to charge for the bidding wars. See, talking of bidding wars, I'm allowed to talk about it because I was never approached, which is fine. But I watched a couple of episodes, and at first I thought it's a really good concept. But it felt too scripted.
Their budget wasn't great. They should have got a proper auctioneer. I don't know why they used the host to do the auctioning. It was kind of strange, especially for us. Like, we go to an actual auction. And I don't think the auctioneer at our auction's any good. I think he's terrible. But he was 50 times better than the guy they had on the show.
Yeah.
And it just kind of didn't work. If they had a real auctioneer, it probably would have been better. And obviously I know how that show worked because they told me how it worked.
Yeah.
So I knew how it actually worked.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I don't want you getting sued, Jay, because I don't want you messaging me tomorrow and say, look, we can't do the auction thing anymore because I've got no money left because Bidding Wars have seen you live and they're on to me. So, yeah, Rachel said and Night's Life have both said they sell at car boots the last couple of months. I know, Rich, you sell at the car boot probably every 2 weeks or something along there. You really enjoy selling the car boot. And honestly, I probably do it once a year. I should probably do it more being a full-time reseller. Yeah. But as I say, I always use car boots to pick stuff up.
See, a lot of people will sell at a car boot to get rid of their stock, but I just sell my dead stock to Rach, and then she sells at the car boot.
So you got to tell me what car boot sale she goes to then, because I will go to the same one and we can both sell our rubbish to her. In fact, why don't we go to the auction, buy all that rubbish we're going to buy at the auction, and then we can tell Rach where we're selling, and she can just come and buy it all off us, and then everyone's a winner, aren't they?
She'll buy it off you before. We don't have to go to the car boot. She'll just come and buy it off you.
Yeah, Rich is saying scripted. That's the feeling I got from it. It felt like it was too scripted. It felt like everyone... There's lots of personalities on there, and actually lots of people I do follow on YouTube, and you can tell they felt like they couldn't be themselves.
Yeah, one thing I didn't like was you weren't allowed to use your social media name. I don't know whether you noticed that. None of them had their actual social media names on the show.
I didn't notice that, no.
They had made up names.
See, that's not good, because again, part of the reason why you'd probably go on that show as a YouTuber who resells.
That's why a lot of them. That's why a lot of them made like a new YouTube channel with like the name from the show, and then they were like linking back to their main one. It's just like, come on, just like let us do it.
No, it's a bit strange like that. Yeah, Rachel's keen on that idea then for us to sell her all the auction rubbish she doesn't want to buy at a time. So that's what we're going to do then. But what we'll do, we'll have a proper good chat about it, organise when we're going to do it, and then get some videos out. And I think it'll be a good laugh, it'll be good fun, and then we can top the results at the end of the month, wherever it may be, and talk about the stuff that we picked up that did sell really well and the stuff that didn't sell well. And a bit of fun, a bit of a competition between us two, which is always good as well.
I mean, one a month is easy to do, and we can have a scoreboard and a season, and maybe we'll buy a box down the auction that has like a really terrible like trophy. Yeah, we'll have like an annual trophy.
Okay, but we got to find the worst trophy then. It can't
worst one. Yeah, it'd be like a ballerina trophy or something with like a broken foot.
Do you know what? You've been doing too much thinking about this. I reckon you've had sleepless nights thinking about what we can do.
This is just all off the top of my head. This is just how my YouTube brain works. I just never do any of it. That's the thing.
No. And now I'm new, fresh, and I'm excited to do YouTube. I'm going to be the one saying, "Come on, Jay, get your footage up," because I've got mine up now. So it will hopefully get you back into the habit of uploading videos. Because as I said at the start, your videos are great. So you need to get back in that habit because you've got so many subscribers who are waiting for you to post. And I saw on a Facebook group the other month, well, a couple of months ago now, someone goes, "Does Flipping Sloth still do? Does he still resell? Does he still do videos?" And I messaged back and I said, "Yeah, I see him at the car boot every weekend." Like, he just needs to get the footage up there. So where does the name come from, Jay?
The name?
The name. Where does Flipping Sloth come from? What made you wake up and think, "Do you know what, that's going to be my name"?
So it's actually a strange one because before I did like proper eBay, I was doing like drop shipping.
Yeah.
Which is why my main eBay account is called Pins UK, because I was drop shipping like pins from China to people.
Mm-hmm.
And then eBay kind of got funny about it, so I stopped drop shipping on my main because I didn't want to get it banned. So I started a second one, but I just only drop ship stuff that had sloths on it because I knew people liked sloths. So I had t-shirts, pillowcases, rugs, duvets, pins, cards, everything. Everything on that store was sloth related.
Yeah.
Which is why that shop was called Sloth Shop, because everything in it was for sloths. I don't know why I chose sloths. I can't remember. I just liked sloths, I guess. And then when I started doing the videos, I was just like, why not keep that name? I couldn't think of anything decent. So I was like, Flipping Sloth, like, why not? Like, it stands out. You can't really forget it. Like, oh, yeah, that's cool, guy, you know, like, whatever. And it just kind of stuck, and I kept it. And I couldn't pick a better name now, to be honest. If I tried, I wouldn't know what I would call myself now if I didn't have that name. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I didn't really like having resale in my name or reseller in my name.
Yeah,
I didn't go for that. I could have had like reselling sloth or the reseller sloth or whatever, but I didn't really like that. I think there was, I can't remember who it was. Someone else had like flipping in their name back then. It's very common now. People don't spell it how I spell it. They like do it with the N on the end. They miss the G off the end, which I don't really like, to be honest. I prefer it with like the full word. But someone else back in the day had flipping in their name, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I just stole that, but I put a G on the end because I didn't want to be the same, you know.
Yeah, no, it's
always American as well, so it wasn't really like, you know, no one in the UK had that in their name at the time, but yeah, it worked, I guess. Nearly 11 months.
I did wonder whether it was the American sort of YouTube stuff you had seen that made you think of that, because there's loads of flipping out there. Like, lots of them are called flipping and stuff as well.
Yeah, because it's more that it's only recently people have been calling it reselling. Like before, it was flipping. Like people would flip stuff. They would go pick it and then they would flip it. Like that was the old word. Obviously, it was very Americanized. And like I said, I'm really into American culture and that. So I was more in like those kind of, like no one in the UK said flipping when I first started. Like I'd never heard anyone say that. So
yeah.
It was different. I liked it. I preferred that over, like I said, having reselling in the name. So, and lots of people in the UK use the word flipping now. So I guess you're
a trendsetter.
I guess so. But then a lot of American stuff's coming here. People say thrifting a lot now, whereas 3 years ago, no one would have said thrifting. They would have said, "I'm going to the charity shop." Yeah, charity shop.
Sure.
Some people say thrifting. I use the word thrifting in my videos a few times instead of charity shop, because at one point I was really trying to get the American audience to watch the videos. So I was using Americanized words to get that audience, but it didn't work. It's impossible. Like they're not interested. Like in Little England, like they don't care. Like they literally do not care. They've got the American resellers. It's more relevant to them. They're not going to come watch. The average person in America is not going to come watch. I think my stats is like 0.8% American. Like, there's no point even trying. Like, if you get a viral video, that's your only hope of getting an American audience.
Yeah.
But it works the other way around, because America's obviously like, oh, America, like, we'll happily sit and watch American stuff.
Yeah.
They won't watch us. Like, we're boring.
Won't watch the Brit stuff. Yeah, they like the accent for a little bit, and then it just becomes that. It's like, oh, garage sales are much more exciting than your car boot sales. Is that kind of thing. So no, I
They don't care, and I don't blame them, because why would they? Like,
yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, we've been going 50 minutes. Is there anything else you would like to add before we talk about off live about the plan for this collaboration we're going to do? Is there anything else you would like to add? Anything you would like to say? Where can people find you? So I'm guessing everyone in this chat is only here to see you, so they probably know where to find you. But if they don't follow you, where can they follow you? Talk about your socials.
YouTube. Hang on a second. Is there a space in my name on YouTube? Yeah, flipping space Sloth on YouTube. Flipping _ Sloth on Instagram. That's it. I think I don't use Twitter socials for reselling, or Facebook. I don't use any of that. So yeah, Instagram and YouTube, I think.
YouTube. Yeah, perfect. And what I'll do, Jay, is I'll put your links under the chat anyway for both of them in case anyone doesn't follow you. But look, thank you all for joining us. And Jay, again, thanks for giving me the time. I know I've been trying to get you on for a couple of weeks on the channel, and I really do appreciate it. And I'm glad we can do some more stuff together in the future as well. I think it's really exciting to actually work closely with another reseller who's local.
I would have been on last week, but I was at Fort Park. So
yeah, Fort Park is more important than the coffee pod on a Monday. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I bet. And yeah, Bidding Wars, if you are watching, ignore everything Jay said. I'm still keen to come on Bidding Wars, so hit me up on Instagram. But Jay, thanks again, and thanks to everyone who's joined in the live chat. Hope you enjoyed today. And yeah, you'll be seeing myself and Jay hopefully soon with the auction video, and we'll be able to give you a bit more details what we're going to do.
Cool.
Perfect. Thanks all. Have a good day.
Bye.